Welcome, everybody, to the Crossover Cinema Podcast. I'm Carlo.
And I'm Kaya. We are your hosts, offering you guys unique takes on the latest films and media releasing.
Today, we're talking about a beautiful film, Challengers, art house comedy drama.
That's an apt description, yes.
Yeah?
Art house dramedy. That's the perfect way to put it.
It's a perfect way to say it. So, Kaya, what's up with that?
It's amazing, you guys. It's really, really,
and
really,
that's where
really.
it's going to be interesting, because for me, it was not that amazing. But, you know.
Yeah, okay. So on that note, I think this movie was exactly what I wanted it to be. In terms of a narrative about tennis. I don't like tennis, you guys. So, overall, I think it's an okay sport. But I need something to drive that for me if I'm going to go and watch this game, this sport. And the narrative around this love triangle, this throuple, if you will, it's one of a kind. It's the establishment of this narrative is done in a simple way, but it's done with eloquence. It's done with grace. It's sexy. It's really sexy. But it's really sexy. But it's not
It's not sexual.
No, it's not sexual. It's sensual. It's sweaty, it's messy, it's dramatic. It's at times subtle, it's at times so overt, but it does it all with this ferocity. It knows what it wants to be. It has a goal. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Okay, just for you guys to know, Kaya saw the movie twice. I saw it once. So that's where we see that there's something there that was calling you, that you liked. I want to know, what is it? Is it Zendaya? Are you a big fan of Zendaya? So everything she does, you're going to go see it and be like, oh, it's amazing. Or it's really because you like the movie? That's my big question right now.
I would honestly say no. Zendaya is a very solid actress. I think based on this film and based on the way her career is going, she's got a higher trajectory rate than even a Halle Berry. Halle Berry has an amazing career. And I think someone like Zendaya can have a career that can be even more, I think, expansive than just that. And I haven't seen all her works. I haven't seen Malcolm and Marie. I did when I was younger, when I was falling off of Disney Channel, see her on Shake It Up. But I've never been a big Zendaya guy like that. I liked her in Dune. I think she's really solid on Euphoria. Spider-Man, she's solid. It's more that for me, this is her moment to really shine. And she's given just the right amount of breathing room amidst this it's a lot of kind of different characters, that's for sure. It's a lot of masculine tension too that she's kind of diffusing with her femininity, but also she has a intensity and her own kind of dominance that kind of is asserting over these two men who low-key want to be submissive to her. They want to be her little white boys.
Yeah, and that's what I found it interesting, is that movie was really if it was made a couple of years ago, I would see that movie with a guy and two girls. But it's a new era, a new genre. It's I saw a powerful woman who doesn't give a shit and doesn't care about emotions of those men. It's a reverse kind of 2024 vibe. I don't know. That's how I saw it. A little bit of and I liked that part. I was I dig that. But when I saw the trailer and I saw the movie, for me it was maybe two kind of movies. I didn't expect that kind of movie when I saw it. I don't know what you thought about that, but
I don't think I can agree fully. I think that comes down to your perception of cinema, and I think your perception of Western cinema in particular. I think for Western cinema, this is not common, but I think a lot of other regions have delved into this sort of topic before and dealt with this sort of thing in a way in which a woman is the jewel of these guys' eyes, but at the same time, her power and her presence within it being the most affecting thing, being the most dominant thing within the narrative. And then at the same time, her whims and wills don't go, I think, unpunished or unreflected upon. I think that there's a and I don't think punish is the right word. I think that all these characters do wrong, and all these characters do wrong upon each other, but it's to reach this catharsis that by the end they truly I think they truly have reached. I think that's the real point, that the game of tennis is their apparatus through which they're able to kind of reconvene all of their desires, all their feelings, and their arcs come full circle. And I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it.
The great parallel with that's for sure. And I love tennis. I like that sport. I played it a little bit when I was younger. Like, I do like, I don't know, I like that part, but at the end there was a lot of slow motion, bro. A lot of slow motion, bro. Like, I get it, but you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's a fair point. I think if you don't like the indulgent nature,
but I liked it, but there was a little bit too much. And slow motion with that music together, I felt it was a vibe, but maybe not that like my vibe, but I felt the vibe. Like at the end, for the last part of the movie with the music, you understand really more why the music was there. But yeah,
I guess I'm not of that opinion, because I really like electronic music. I like house music a lot, and Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, I believe those are the two guys. The Nine Inch Nails, you guys, you absolutely smashed it, mate. You smashed it. It was something that, especially on second watch, I was anticipating that. I was anticipating the beat coming in when these like high energy, intense like drama or even comedy moments would happen, and there's no other way to put it, I think, than to say it's a good reminder of what the medium of cinema can achieve when you have a clear vision, a clear goal. You don't have a bunch of studio interference, and you're able to make something that just has a raw energy to it that you're like, you get to indulge in. And I indulged twice, and I'm happy to. I'm happy to again.
Would I go see it twice though? I don't think so. Once what it was good. It was okay. How was like the box office for that? Really good, right?
It was an okay opening. From what I understand, it was 15 million. 15 million for an actress who's just up and coming and just starting is really, really, really good. It kind of solidifies your ability to at least move tickets in a multi-million sort of way. And moreover, if you can establish that fan base and grow it, you're establishing yourself into a real movie star. And we're lacking a lot of movie stars nowadays. We have very few. And Zendaya's star power in this movie, I can see her going a long way.
Yeah. We're talking about like maybe Oscar nominations or stuff like that.
No, I don't know about Oscar nominations for this movie, because I feel like you have a real uphill
that
battle.
Scene where those two guys kiss in front of Zendaya. That scene is really good, right?
That was
a good scene.
That was dope. I liked it.
I like that scene too. Like,
I think
me and my girl, we were like, damn, like we were in the story really. Like it took us like after that's the thing. The music arrived, and now I was like, okay, I'm in the film. But there's a lot of part that I was really in the story. So that's where I cannot say that it was like a total like great film for me. Like it was a good film, but
there were aspects of it that were missing some stuff for you.
Well, yeah, I was like getting out of the film.
Did you find it was too high on itself in a sense? It was too indulgent. It would be the word. Was it too? Do you find, because like you mentioned the slow mo, you mentioned not feeling that kind of.
Well, it's an art house movie, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But like with a like blockbuster like reach, blockbuster like budget.
I think it's a more mainstream reach. I don't think it's 4 quadrant, but it's still something that you can tell this is not going to be getting the box office of a Call Me by Your Name or blood or all the blood and bones or whatever the Timothy Chalamet cannibal movie. It's not going to make that kind of money. It's going to make bigger money because you got more attractive leads, more attractive star, a clear narrative that is a little more easy to digest. And I think also people are just intrigued by wanting to see something a little bit more steamy nowadays. And I think Western media is we are violence obsessed in a lot of respects. And I love my action films, and I love my horror slashers. But at the same time, there's a clear need for more of that European, I think, art house kind of flair with the Western twist, with Western themes, with Western ideals, and culture at its center, kind of just so that we can have a reflection of that within our own society, rather than having to watch, a lot of these, French and German movies and be like, oh, I wonder what these situations would be like over here.
Do you classify it in a queer genre?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I felt.
I think all the leanings are there, and
it's
I think
very sexual. There's a lot of can I say it's more gay-oriented sexual?
I think that's a improper way of putting it. I don't think sexual is the way to describe it. I think it's more
sensual.
It is, yeah. It's, you could say, homosensual, and I feel like there is a clear understanding of the homoeroticism at play, and the desire to make that almost like a back end front and center. Like, it's there. You can make it the front and center of the narrative as you watch it, but it's a part of every different stream that's going on within the story. Like, this relationship is a love triangle, not in a way that just goes towards Zendaya. It is a love triangle that truly completes. You have the meeting of all the parties. There is a clear love between these two men. Whether that's platonic or romantic or sexual is up to you as the viewer, but at the same time, you can kind of glean what the writer and what the director, through the visuals and through the narrative, are trying to tell you about them. There's a love that they all share. 100%. That triangle really completes, and I love that. I love it.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you feel that love triangle and everything, but they're clearly one way that love triangle goes. Like, I don't know. It was, I don't know.
That's your interpretation.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Well, what's your interpretation?
Let's talk about the interpretation.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Like, give me ending of that.
Based on that, what you're saying.
With the ending.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Because this ending is totally up to the spectator to say whatever they want. Like,
yes and no. I think there's clear answers that you can glean from it. I think,
because for me, I saw two guys giving a hug,
and that's it.
And that
and Zendaya screaming. And
Zendaya just be happy that the two guys are like giving a hug. I don't know. I wasn't like, I don't know. It was very fluid. I didn't get like the right side of whatever the movie means for me, but it didn't make it a bad movie. It's just the ending was not that for me. Like, I was like, come on, I want to like.
I'll put it like this.
And I know you wanted to give that, and that's where it's an artwork movie.
I'll put it like this for me, okay? When it comes to the way it's all structured out, the pacing of it, leading to this final set in the match that they're having, it feels like you've been teed up and essentially like built up the entire time you're watching it. And I find that you reach that catharsis with the three characters at the end the same way that they all do, but you can very much so glean an idea of what their endings would be. You can have your own interpretation. Yes, it's up to you, but I think there's clear indications based on what the writers were saying, what the characters were doing prior, their gestures, their movements. You have that key scene where he's, putting the ball
right. But
and
that
I gotta make this point. Every single showing I went to, the two were. The theater was ecstatic, just in a rapture in a way when that moment happened. Almost like you all realized it with him, whether it was a little slower, whether you realized it beforehand. And Josh O'Connor, that smile, that was devilish. I love it. It was spectacular. You killed that. And I feel like keeping that energy between the two of them, and also there's a rawness and anger, a bit of a jealousy and frustration, but a real love and a passion too for the game and for each other. And I think that they all reach that moment together. Zendaya vicariously through her these two men that she loves and she also wants to see thrive, because she doesn't get to have that.
She loves.
I think
the only thing I really understand is that she didn't love either of them.
I think that's a wrong way to look at it. I think that's a wrong way to look at it. She just wanted
to be in the game of.
I think polyamory. I think polyamory is a very big part of this movie, and understanding that she has a love for them both, and that there's a messiness to every aspect of their relationship, to the way their relationship started. She literally said from jump, I don't want to be a homewrecker. And she absolutely homewrecked this cute little friendship relationship that was going on between these two guys, fire and ice.
Like that's where I think that there wasn't love there. Like it was more like experience and like.
I think it built to a love. I think that the love was established off screen and on screen, and I think that it was also given a breath when you see that they have this daughter and that their daughter is kind of on the sidelines in their relationship. You see that there's clearly a tension that they need to fix, a tension that they want to have with each other and bring back, but at the same time, you don't get that full resolution with that. You have to glean your resolution based on the actions that happen. When he lies in bed with his daughter and sleeps with her and comforts her at night while his wife is off cheating, you know that there's an implication to that that's sad, that's really hurtful. But by film's end, you can imagine that this throuple as a power couple or power throuple together can actually achieve a real emotional, mental, and I think a sensitivity for each other, and I think ultimately for that child that's involved there too. So
that's where we are really not on the same page on that. Like for me, that child was just there in that movie for us to understand that he's sleeping with his child while she's cheating. That's it for me. It wasn't like clear for me like that. Like she didn't care about her, that child that was always with the mother, like her mother, her grandmother. She was never there. And at the end, there's a scene where he sleeps. At least there was a scene where that child was useful for something. For me, it was only that message that child was there for. Like, she's not present, she's not there, she's like, she has stuff at home going.
I think that neglects some of what you see throughout but when you see throughout the narrative, yes, the child is used sparingly, but it's very clear when Art goes to comfort his daughter and be with his family when Zendaya is not. It's not just
only for that scene, bro. Like
it's not just that scene. You have that clear scene at the beginning of the film when they're both talking about tennis, and the daughter literally says, "All you ever do is talk about tennis." She just goes like,
"Go bring her over there." I don't want to talk to her. But
you are at the beginning of a narrative that
for me, there was some stuff like the tennis racket, where it was like, I think it was at least 10 or 12 scenes, 12 shots of somebody breaking a tennis racket. Like, after a while, I was like, he's gonna break one. Oh, he's gonna break another one. Is he gonna break that one? Oh, he broke it. I was like, okay. And the other thing too for me is the guy. He's a tennis player, and it's the only thing he has in life. He's in his little shorts with his tennis racket tennis in his hand, and he's like, "Hey, no, I'm a tennis player, guys. No, hey." Do you have a room for me? Yeah. Oh, me? I'm a tennis player. He's going back. Like, he gets awake. Like, the police is there. Like, somebody knocks on his door. He's sleeping in his car. He doesn't even have a blanket.
Josh O'Connor, I'm so sorry.
He doesn't even have a blanket, bro. He's just like, oh, no, look. I have my racket tennis. I'm a tennis player. It's like, I get that.
That's
it's
all
the only
he's
thing
got.
he got in life. Yeah, I get it, but...
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Give the guy a blanket or something. Like he could eat and be a tennis player. Like, I get he doesn't have money. He's in the street, but I don't know. I get we want a good backstory, but for me it was a little too much.
I think they did that really well. I think there's a lot of people who wear the same T-shirt 8 years later.
And the same racket tennis and the same shorts, and he has only one...
They're on the same trajectory. They've been on that entire time.
It was a little cliche.
But cliches, when they're done effectively, when they're done with eloquence and grace yet again.
And gravitas.
And panache. And pastiche. Not pastiche. Whatever. Point is, you know what I'm trying to say. The matter of fact is, this movie was done with a graceful execution. Something that for me, I like to see. I like to see a truly deft hand, and at times a subtle hand, and at times an overt hand, and it's all done here. The style is there, the substance is there. It's palpable. The tension is real. When you reach that end point, the end of the game with them, you feel like you've really completed it. You do get kind of, I want to find the right word for it, like left with this like plate of food that you want to finish, but you have to leave it. And I feel like that's part of the like the intensity of it, is that you're being given all these entrees of these things happening. It's the entrees are the things that are happening in the film, and you're eating them and you're dealing with them. And once you get to the end, it's almost like you get to the grand meal. You're almost there and you're about to touch it, but they are the ones who are experiencing it. They are the ones who are getting to have that that awakening. And it's like you as the viewer get to have that as well, but you're also left wondering, well, what's going to happen with the rest of their lives? Will he get to be in the US Open? You know, either of them. Will Zendaya really get to live the kind of career highs that she's always wanted through these two guys? And it's like, you can glean from that what you will. And I feel like there was a lot to take away from it, and a lot to enjoy.
There was a lot to enjoy too.
That soundtrack, like, you guys, go listen to it.
That soundtrack was really good. I would refer it to anybody. Like, go see that movie, seriously. Like, it was a good movie to see, especially in theater. That's a better way to see it.
When that beat hits.
Yeah, because that beat, like, I'm sure in your house, it's not going to hit the same. It's going to maybe be too much. Like all those beats.
I love it. They're so good. They're so good. I love it.
Yeah, that last scene too was really good. You really want to go back to see it again, or?
I'll wait for a digital release, but I absolutely will go back to some scenes, because I feel like I listened to the soundtrack on its own and I'm really enjoying it, but there's something about the way that the movie paces everything together and does the needle drops. It's so great. I really enjoyed it, and I know you liked it too. For all your criticisms, I know you definitely liked it too. And that's how you know this movie did what it was supposed to do. It leaves you wanting to talk about it, discuss it, debate your ending theory. I personally think realistically, art lost. And I think that that's what he needed at the end of the day. He needed to reach a catharsis within the match, but I don't think he needed to go on to do that and play all these games with all these people he doesn't really care about. He really wanted to play with somebody that he cares about, somebody that he admires. And I feel like him losing won't diminish him at all. And I think that Patrick winning will give him the exact push he needs to finally reach that career high he wants, just to feel satisfied and go on with his life. And then at the same time, for Zendaya, it's wanting to complete that career slam. She's the one who really wants the career slam. She's the one who she's the one
who's pushing, and that's why I think that she's using them a little bit.
But they all use each other in some way.
In some way. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a lot of love.
I think that is where the love is there too, absolutely. Because as much as it's messy. So messy. So loving, but so messy.
Okay, so if you had one scene,
yes,
your favorite scene, what would it be? You need to pick one scene that somebody would watch to go see that movie.
Wow, I think, damn, that's actually really tough.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of really good scenes in it.
I talked about one that,
and
was
I don't,
really
and
good,
I'm trying to not pinpoint moments that are like too intense. Like, or like I'd want you to be able to see that when the energy's built up. I think honestly, the opening moments. Where they're initially starting the match and the music kicks in the first time. I think if you just showed somebody that as like a vibe check, it's like a mood board for the movie. That them crossing, on opposite ends, Zendaya looking at them both, the track thumping in, the announcer looking around, being like doing his face, serving face, and Zendaya's assistant actually in real life. I think he's out here or they are out here just serving face, just. Spike to serve, Donaldson to serve.
But it's exactly that. Foul.
Point violation. Donaldson.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Spike, warning. Audible offense. I really enjoyed that. I think
for me I think it would be the sauna scene. I like that scene. Like that. Yeah, like
the butting heads, the clash.
And you feel too like the sensual tension.
Like they almost love each other in that way.
Tension. Yeah.
Even like, though they're angry at each other.
Like kiss or something at one point. Like, but at the end, I have buddies. It's like that, man. It's a really close friendship, and that's what it is. Like from outside, you could say, oh, maybe there's something, but no, man. It's like my brother. We're really close. There's no more boundaries about like touching or anything like that. And I don't know. That's what I felt with these two. Really, like a big friendship, like with like a lot of like backstory of it for sure.
A lot of messiness. Again, it's so messy, you guys, but that's why you'll love it. It's so messy.
Did you find that going back in time like that all the time, like 8 years back, 15 minutes before, 2 minutes after? Because in the movie, that's what it's happened a lot. You're going back and forth in the movie. Did you like that like concept that like, because it's a kind of movie, right?
So I find normally when I tend to watch movies that have that back and forth, that is the plot element that I usually like the least. I'll give you an example. Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron is an example where the film bounces between a interview in an interrogation room and then the main events of the film. And I feel like that didn't always work. And I feel like here, the bouncing back and forth is the game of tennis, that game you're watching them play. That you're pacing forth through the memories that are affecting the time, and then the memories that are affecting them the most. You mentioned the sauna scene. You know, in particular, he says you and her had a thing then, and he says then, and then you get that flashback to indicate all of the tension in between then that makes that whole scene elevate itself. It gets elevated through that flashback, and I feel like that's the thing about this movie. All the flashbacks and the lore building of this whole relationship between the three of them is done in a way that like gives you exactly the right amount you need at the right time to make you understand. And then even when you watch it again with the knowledge you have now, you kind of watch the actions that the characters take differently. I'll give you a perfect example. When Patrick breaks his racket, that's his way of playing into what Tashi asked him to do. So it's one of those things, like, I feel like when you now know that, you only realize that thing by the end of the film. So when you know that now, you go back and you watch it, and you're watching these character movements, and you're like, wait, maybe this was being done for that reason, and it's not what you thought initially, and there's just so much to get from it. And I feel like that's the beauty of it. Absolutely.
Because for sure that film is to watch 2 times, like to really understand it and everything.
I think even thrice.
Maybe, but I wouldn't do it. But like a lot of people would do it, and I get it. Like there's so many stuff that you could pick up on. That's for sure. So okay, well, thank you guys. That's gonna be all for the podcast.
That's gonna be all for a challenge. I think really and truly, you guys go watch this. Go watch it in the theater. Really go and see the film after you've watched this lovely podcast. And as per usual, enjoy the film and enjoy the podcast.
I'm Carlo, and I'm saying thank you guys to watch the crossover cinema podcast. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's no worries. And I'm Kaya. Thank you guys for watching Crossover Cinema. See you next time. Bye.